Welcome to this special film of the Ebbw Valley Railway, made to celebrate the return of the passenger service after an absence of 46 years. We now view the junction signal box at Aberbeeg. This was built by the Great Western Railway and had 65 levers. Inside the signal box we see the lever frame and the token exchange equipment. The box was last in use on the 14th of December 1997. Aberbeeg station lay in the fork of lines to Ebbw Vale and Brimawr. The station served as a changing point for passenger trains and a locomotive shed and yard for steel and coal traffic. Here we see the disused platforms and track bed that leads to Rose Hayworth Colliery and Aberbeeg. It's a sunny Sunday afternoon, and the driver of a Class 60 locomotive passes the single line token to the signalman. We now begin our journey on the steep incline towards Cwm, where the valley opens out, heading towards Ebbw Vale. At the end of this deep cutting lies the village of Cwm. We arrive at Marine Colliery. Opened in 1892 by the Ebbw Vale Iron and Steel Company, the colliery reached its peak in 1919 when it employed over 2,700 men. Until 1961, Marine had its own railway station, and its extensive sidings were worked by the Peckett engine Menelaus. Built in 1935, she was the last steam loco to work in Britain for the National Coal Board. From 1977, underground connections allowed coal from 6 Bells Pit to be brought to the surface at Cwm. Unfortunately, geological faults hindered production by the late 80s, and the closure of Marine Colliery was announced in January of 1989. This is the scene following the closure of the colliery. All that are left are the winding wheels marking the location of the pit shafts. On the morning of St. David's Day, 1927, Marine Colliery was the scene of one of the worst disasters in the history of the South Wales coalfield. Following a build-up of methane gas 1,000 feet underground, a huge explosion claimed the lives of 52 miners. We arrive at Marine Colliery Bridge with the Kendal Mountain in the background. We head up the mountain to the route of the Dramroad tramway that connected the marine site to the south level pits on the mountainside. Operated by horsepower since the start of the Industrial Revolution, it was finally closed in 1943. From the mountainside, we spot an empty coil train, hauled by a Brush Class 60 locomotive, leading the 6B82 working to British Steel Llanwern. We arrive at the town bridge in the centre of the village, formerly the site of the old railway station. The station was opened in 1852 and closed over a century later in 1962. From the bridge, the former platform is still visible. A pleasant view from Cwm Bridge, where the Castle Hotel and the Royal Oak Public House are easily identifiable. Some holiday makers seen here enjoying the famous ice cream purchased from Louis' Corner Cafe. As we continue up the incline, we can spot the remaining wall of Cwm Rhydderch School. The site of Cwm's siding signal box was situated directly opposite. The Bailey's Arms, under construction, alongside School Terrace. We have reached the new Cwm Bridge. From the bridge platform, we will briefly view St Paul's Church. In 1981, the Ebbw Vale line was reduced to a single track branch line. Cwm slag tips, with the sports ground beneath and the powerhouse visible on the opposite side. We pass an English Electric Class 37 leading an empty coil train on its return to Llanwern. These fine engines have been the mainstay of the line since the early 60s. Freight trains travelling to and from Ebbw Vale Works has ensured the viability of the line, with hot roll coils arriving regularly from Margam and Llanwern 6 days a week. As we approach the village of Waenloyd, we discover directional signs, ancient and modern. site of the Wynlloyd colliery. But the Pithead Baths are a supermarket now. The railway first came to the Ebbw Valley in 1798. It served the canal at Crumlin as part of the Monmouthshire Railway and Canal Company's route to the Beaufort Ironworks. It is one of the oldest railways in the world. As we reach the village of Victoria, we go back in time to the 1980s to show the old reception sidings, where wagons were shunted in readiness for the final part of their journey to Ebbw Vale Steelworks. The wagons would have contained either coal, coke, iron ore or limestone as the main ingredients for the manufacture of steel. The other side of the bridge shows Glyn Ebbw Terrace in complete harmony with the River Ebbw, with the Park Hotel in the background. This site was landscaped to form the National Garden Festival of Wales, which opened on May the 1st, 1992 and continued for 5 glorious months, closing on the 4th of October. The criteria for the festival required it to be sited on an area exceeding 200 acres. The area shown was spread over 1 3/4 miles long, rising to 1,200 feet above sea level, and easily achieved those standards. Here we see visitors passing the Park Hotel on their way to the opening ceremony. The festival boasted a funicular mountain railway, chairlift, sky shuttle, 3 outdoor theatrical venues and many other exciting activities to add to the bountiful floral attractions. The most popular but least photographed exhibit was Blaenau Gwent's contribution, The Tree of Time, which told the industrial story of Ebbw Vale through the eyes of a little girl. We are delighted to include the only existing film record of this outstanding exhibit in its entirety at the conclusion of this programme. As we near the end of our journey, the towers of the Steelworks come into view. A coil train has arrived and awaits its path into the new yard. Welcome to the British Steel Corporation Ebbw Vale Works. It's a busy weekend and the yards are full of stock. Filmed in the late 90s, we visit the stockyards and loco depot. The Steelworks diesel locomotives were leased from the Scottish firm of Hunslet Barclay. Based in Kilmarnock, the company has over 150 years of experience in the field of constructing engines. Three of the locomotives featured are named Gillian, Laura and Tracy. They get their names from members of the office staff at the Caledonian head office at Kilmarnock. A unique commendation for secretaries Gillian Boland, Laura Thompson and Tracy Steele. We go back now to the 1970s, when the giant steelworks was in full flow. The lime burning plant can be spotted in the foreground of the picture. An impressive view of Heckett's scrapyard with Cumbetterment sports ground seen from the end of the slag tips. A cast on the blast furnace showing the hot metal being poured into the ladle wagon below. The waste slag is seen being separated into troughs to the left of the furnaces. From the blast furnaces, the molten metal is conveyed to the converter shop, where it is turned into steel. We spot a young Keith Barnes before his council days. Another general view of the works, looking towards Waterwheel cottages on the mountainside. And further down the valley, we reach the ironmasters' village called Garden City. These massive gasometers, situated directly below Garden City, were used to convert the coal supplied by the Prince of Wales colliery nearby into natural gas. From above, the mole plant looms large. Sentinel locos can be spotted pulling empty mole plant carrier wagons. Staff members Charlie Phillips and Diane Young can be seen leaving the works canteen. We end our 70s visit to the hot mill and return rapidly to the stockyards of the 1990s. Our first views are of the storage sidings and the locomotive shed. The spire of Christchurch is visible as we head for the south reception sidings. These large grey vans are ferry wagons for use in the Channel Tunnel rail link. Ebbw Vale's high quality strip products are in great demand across the world. We are now just in time for a Class 60 locomotive to make its return journey to Llanwern on the Ebbw Valley Railway. We move forward now to 1999 and the British Steel's declaration of its intention to merge with Dutch steel manufacturers Hoogevens to form a new metals group called Chorus. Barely 3 years later, the multinational company's slogan, "The future in metals," was exposed as a total sham. The gates of the iconic Steelworks closed forever, showing scant empathy for a loyal and dedicated workforce. Our steelworks have gone. The bulldozers have been brought in. The demolition work is nearly complete, and soon our valley will be silent once more. But you can't keep Blaenau Gwent down. A new day has dawned, and with it, a newfound optimism. After many years of campaigning, the Cwm Bypass Road was finally sanctioned by the new Welsh Assembly. Parts of the old railway line were repositioned to accommodate the ongoing construction of the new road. Marine Street is clearly visible from our vantage point on the new Cwm roundabout.